Flynn is a conspiracy theorist and an Islamophobe. He's known to have falsely claimed that Sharia law was spreading across the United States and America was in the midst of a world war with radical Islamists. And he tweeted earlier this year, fear of Muslims is rational in caps. What does it mean for the world to have somebody like Flynn in a job that has in the past has been held by people like Henry Kissinger, Colin Powell, Brzezinski, Sandy Berger, Condi Rice, Susan Rice, all smart, seasoned and strategic thinkers, not Islamophobes, not people who lie.
Well, let's see how he shapes up. He was the head of the Defense Intelligence Agency under Obama and then stepped down because of differences over the fact that he felt that the Obama administration was not being hard enough on Islamic radicalism and Al-Qaeda and so on. Again, I would say he reflects Trump's thinking, because at some level during the campaign, Trump has focused on the threat posed by jihadi Islam to the security of the United States, had said that he is going to prevent Muslims from entering the United States, then changed it to say that he will impose extreme vetting. And now, after the attack in Berlin, there's been a tweet saying, we were right in saying Muslims should not be allowed entry into the US. So I don't think that Flynn, in a sense, is the initiator of this kind of policy. In fact, he reflects Trump's own view of US security, which is threatened more by global terrorism than, by a direct frontal war with any adversary, because the prospect of a war has receded, between the great powers has receded, whereas, the main challenge that they face on the homeland is really from terrorism.
So, Raj, do you think that Trump is trying to reverse US policy on Iran by appointing people who are anti-Iran to these top positions? And how easy or difficult would it be for him to reverse this process? Because it has support amongst the Republicans. And Flynn is particularly known for his hostility towards Iran.
I think the Republicans in general, because they were in opposition in the Congress, tended to oppose the deal. But I think the Iran question will get sorted out within the larger approach they're going to take to the Middle East. Quite clearly, the one view is that, look, US should not get itself into the kind of quagmires that it has in the name of nation building, in the name of modernizing or democratizing Middle East. So that view is quite strong. Second, there is a view which I think Meera was alluding to, that there are people in the administration or in the Republic, among his followers, who think the Judeo-Christian world is in danger, that it is important to bring Putin into the coalition to defeat the Islamic extremism that is threatening the very foundations of Western civilization. So therefore, that view is equally strong. Within that, then the third level is the internal contradictions within the Middle East. Every government in the US or everyone in the world has to deal with those contradictions of Shia-Sunni rivalry, of how do you deal with ISIS without strengthening Iran. So I think not everything is clear at this point, but my sense is the Christian argument, civilization and threat, not getting involved too deeply, gives him an opening that would be different from what has been done so far.
So do you agree with what Raj is saying? Do you think Trump's approach to radical Islamic terrorism would be, he's saying it won't be deep involvement. Would it be more focused and concentrated on counterterrorism alone, or do you think the broad involvement of US in West Asia will continue?
I think the Americans, Trump and others, are hyping up the Islamic threat to the United States. I'm not talking about the Islamic threat to the region in which these forces have emerged, or India. But the United States is relatively better protected. And it doesn't have the same kind of problems that Europe has in terms of large Muslim population, radicalized, almost contiguous borders, at least through Turkey and across the Mediterranean, and the whole colonial past, which bears upon the relationship today, and their policies of intervention in the Middle East. So they are better protected. Why they are hyping it up so much, is difficult to.
No, my question is, will it be a more focused approach, or will it be a generalized presence?
One aspect of this could well be Israel's role, because United States system is penetrated by the Israelis a great deal, and Israel naturally has this phobia. Although again, it's very murky because Islamic State and all these forces are not targeting Israel, and Israel has connections with Saudi Arabia and Qatar. So it's a very complicated issue. So I don't think that and finally I said, how many fires is Trump going to light up with China, with Iran, with Europe pertaining to Russia, with the Middle East? With Latin America, how many fires are you going to light up?
Okay, we've really run out of time, so quickly.
It's not so simple, because on the one hand, Trump has been quite hard on Iran. On the other hand, he's been equally hard on Saudi Arabia. And if you take someone like Michael Flynn, he's been quite hard on Pakistan, basically saying that, either Pakistan has to deliver on taking action against the groups which are like the Haqqanis or the LET, which are on Pakistani soil, operating from Pakistani soil, or then the US will have to look at other options.
Yeah, it's exactly what we've been saying for a long time, but we've run out of time. So I'd like to thank Dr. C. Rajamohan, Ambassador Meera Shankar, Ambassador Kamal Sibal for participating in this discussion. That is all we have for you today. We'll be back again as usual next week. Until then, goodbye, and thanks for watching India's World.